Hi, I've been asked to say a few things about Mount Morris, and I'm very glad to do so. My name's Kurt Liebenow. I'm a pastor at Watertown Moravian Church. I also serve as the president of the board of directors for Mount Morris. Um, I've been coming to Mount Morris for a long time. Since I was in high school, our youth retreats would come up in the spring and fall. Um, it was a place where I preached my first sermon as a part of one of those youth retreats. I had the opportunity to do a 2-minute talk, and I remember it obviously, and it has helped me in my spiritual journey. I know Mount Morris has been a place where people have found their faith, found how to express their faith, found out how to grow and deepen their faith just by being here among friends and in fellowship, through programming, through a whole host of ways that Mount Morris has provided a place for people to be, to find themselves and to find God. Um, Mount Morris had Sandhill for a long time in the 90s. The thought was, well, what about getting our camping program to come to Mount Morris? We had the land, we had the space. Why not build some facilities to be able to have our camps there rather than renting them and be moving all over the place and being subject to other people's schedules and availabilities? And so a bold move probably, but I think a move not in faith, but a move of faith to build some cabins, to build Arrowhead, which is a dining program type area. And I think what God revealed was when we took this step in faith, there was more in store than we could imagine at the time. In fact, I know that's the case because once it got built, we saw how our camps worked there very effectively. We saw then how we were able to reach more people and have a space that was available for a lot of people to come and maybe it's a crafting group, maybe it's a spiritual direction group, maybe it's a church band or church choir that wanted to come just to get away to grow together as a group while learning their craft of music or whatever it may be. What we found is we have multiple groups coming on weekends. We have summer camps that just utilize the place from one end to the other. But what we have found is that what we need to do is refine what we have. Now that we've seen what the potential is, we realize that Arrowhead is a wonderful place to be. We actually need a little more of it. So what we're looking at doing is adding on really a multi-use area, but it'll be primarily dining or set up for dining, which will allow the rest of Arrowhead to function to serve the rest of the camp. See, oftentimes on weekends between September and June, we've got 2, if not 3, different groups up at Mount Morris utilizing the space, and everybody wants to eat the meal, but if there's a group that has reserved Arrowhead, there's no reasonable place to serve everybody if they want their meals served there. And so by having a place where people could come and eat, and maybe meet new people and share that time together and still allow Arrowhead to function as a program area that would enhance our capacity to be able to serve people. At summer camps with that kind of space, Arrowhead becomes much more functional where dining would be in one area and yet our programming and activities could take place in the other areas. Our cabins themselves, somebody could come up and maybe spend a weekend or a week at a cabin, and they would have Arrowhead as a place that they could go to kind of have a really nice large living room, fireplace, read a book, enjoy the views and the time together. And so as we look at this kind of new step of faith, what we're doing is counting on people to see the value and the vision of it and to contribute. My goal in the whole thing always is to have 100% of the people donating something. Maybe it's $10. Maybe it's a whole lot more than that. Only you know your potential to do that. But together, this is a very doable, very reasonable, possible project, which would only enhance the possibilities and the what Mount Morris can be to people, and how we are able to continue to do an amazing ministry on those grounds and in those buildings and through the people that are part of the staff and all of those who come up there to enjoy a place to get away, and to get closer to God. Because as I like to say in recent years, it's a place like no other. And I hope you are able to help and support this project and see us grow and move forward in this direction. Thank you very much.